I am not a financial expert, trader, professional trader. I have no fiduciary responsibilities towards anyone. If you are expecting to get trading advice, please consult a stockbroker, someone that has a stockbroker's license and that is binded by fiduciary responsibilities. And my strong opinion, do not trade any stocks with money that you need right now for cost of living expenses, such as your rent, mortgage, car payments, credit card bills, debt payments, anything of such, because that is what I call scared money. Do not trade with scared money. And please do your own due diligence.
What's going on? We're gonna be talking about basically these banks. Okay, we have a lot of failed banks that came up on the news this week and last. First one is SVB Capital or SVB, which is Silicon Valley Bank in basically in California. So we're gonna talk about that, and then I'm gonna put my opinion on it as well, and kind of point you into the direction of what you might not have known about this situation, and maybe how it affects you. And also I'm gonna talk about some other things that I've talked about before, but I'm kind of gonna go. I'm kind of gonna go a little bit. Uh, might get a little ghetto on this one, because in order to get through, I might have to start getting a little getting a little extreme, you know, because um, a lot of times people kind of think they might be doing something, you know, that is really major, but all the while what they're doing is not really that major. It's young people that are doing uh, a lot of major things, and I'm going to talk about it. I'll just give you a hint. It's called buying real estate and Airbnbs. But yeah, these banks, man, basically have failed, and it's a banking. You could say at this point it's somewhat of a banking crisis in the United States. You can even say internationally. You have one of the major European banks, which is Credit Suisse, is also basically facing some type of financial hardship. So one of the things that SVB, as far as in my these are my opinions. These are not based off of any news reports or anything like that, but these are just my opinions. From what I see from SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, is basically a bunch of young people mixed with a somewhat older people that have made some blunders. And before I talk about young people or whatever, or, millennials, and then younger, it's been boomer banks that's failed. It's been old banks that failed. Lehman Brothers failed in 2008, right? Brothers failed. Also, uh, what say Goldman Sachs was basically the government. Okay, Goldman Sachs was in bed with a lot of elites. Okay, basically I call them chief commanders and commanders. They literally were embedded, so they were saved. Ultimately, basically were propped up in 2008, and also AIG as well. One of the things I have to say about 2008 is that Had you just basically just, not went for the psyops, it was a high level psyops, 2008. If you didn't go for it and you waited for everything to put, basically kind of go to bed. I remember AIG was a buck 2000 and after 2008, about 2009, AIG was a buck. I'm gonna talk a little. I'm gonna talk a little. We gonna open up. We gonna open up. Basically Google Finance. Okay, this is what I want to. I just. I'm not coming over here. I'm not opening up no live stream talking about, you know, panic and get your money and all that other stuff. Nah, I'm just this is what I want to tell you. So AIG was in 2008. We can go back, Max, right? So let's see here. I've already gave the addendum on. I'm not a financial advisor, at least not yet. Um, this is literally what happened in 2008. It's it bottomed out. Okay, bottomed out. I remember it being about a buck as far as price. Doesn't reflect that, but I remember it flatlining to about a buck. Okay, I'm not. It won't drill down that far. But what I'll say is that right now being $47, you know, 10,000 bucks, boom, you know, you pretty much set. You set in you pretty much set for life. Same thing with basically a lot of companies that came out of the 2008 crash. So it's like a lot of times people fall for the panic, and it's sort of the reason why one of the also things that I stopped doing in 2008 that I don't do now after 2008 is that I control what I really watch for the most part. I don't try to go with the propaganda and the media. I don't really even watch a lot of TV. A lot of people don't even watch TV, because it kind of programs you to think negatively. I would say modern television, the last 20 years, even probably longer, is very, very toxic. Like as soon as you turn it on, as soon as I turn the TV on, my brain just starts melting down. Like, oh shit, I can't take this shit anymore. The commercials, the the programming, it's just so toxic. Like if you ever wonder why people are so toxic, it's because they're probably watching modern TV and radio. Oh, radio is beyond toxic. You want to talk about toxic? Oh my god. One of the another company that I made, I talked about, and it's one of the companies that I missed out on is and this is when I learned about stocks and stuff like that. Back then, this was Sirius XM, because basically, sometimes you don't really need a lot of analysis. You kind of just need common sense, right? So the common sense approach that I took was, okay, this was at 13 cents a share in February 2009. What I thought about was radio is so terrible. This is gonna be the wave. This is the future. Okay. And then Sirius bought out Pandora, I believe. They bought Pandora off. I think they got rid of Howard Stern, but this was during the time that they were dealing with Howard Stern. But this is like just common sense. Oh, they gonna basically um do well because radio is so terrible. That's literally like us. Sometimes buying like I mean people have all kind of funded. I could talk about fundamental analysis. I could talk about technical analysis. I could talk about stock screens. I could talk about financial reports. uh, does the company pay a dividend or not? I could talk about is this company in profit or not? What's the EBITDA rating or their EBITDA as far as their earnings before interest, taxes, and yeah, I forgot what EBITDA stands for, but it basically the company in profit or not in profit, or are they making a profit after all of their expenses or not? I could talk all about that stuff. I could talk about you know the all the aspects of looking at a particular company and looking at their stocks. But sometimes it's just as simple as, damn, radio is so terrible. I know it's terrible. Sirius XM definitely is a it's like the cable of radio. This is gonna pop. It's just simple as that. And a lot of times it's just that simple that it's like literally you put your money up and then boom, it blows up. I mean, I could after after the pandemic, basically, when you knew people were at home, good old Netflix. Netflix was like, okay, of course this is gonna go up. We just go back 5 years. What, 2020, right? Let's go to 2020. Good old 2020, right? And then it peaked. It started popping. But you'd have to have a lot of money to put into Netflix. See, this where it comes to a situation where how's your money. But I mean, pretty much the same thing. Obviously, people at home they gonna need to watch Netflix. It's just you don't really need a lot of technical analysis and all of that stuff to just pinpoint the fact that this company is obviously going to be people are going to buy subscriptions of Netflix. They're at home. Kids watch a lot of cartoons and stuff on Netflix. You don't really need a lot of um, just analysis to just basically put that out. Um, but another thing, and this is where when I did this, this is when I knew I was gonna be. I knew I was on my way. I mean, pretty much. When I when I just was like I was going through some changes and stuff like that, and I knew I was the man when I pointed out AMC. When I pointed out AMC before it took off, I think that was 2021 when it took off around this time here, and I said, basically it's gonna take off. Boom, and then it pretty much. I'm gonna tell you, this is the history behind this, right? So all them people that bought them AMC stocks on various different ways they bought it, and all of the stuff that came out from that, the people that made a bunch of money off of it, and even the people that are still trying to ride the stock and all of that, basically the Wall Street bets guys on Reddit, though that all of that changed the company. They were literally thinking about filing bankruptcy. Okay, um, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, people are going to go back to the theater. They're eventually going to get back to what they were doing before the pandemic for the most part. It might be a little bit different. They're going to get back to it. Another one, Good old GameStop. Same. Don't need no damn technical analysis. People gonna be playing video games. Boom. You know, took off. So it's like some stuff. Yeah, you need to be. It's best you know about how to find different indicators and um, different types of chart patterns and stuff like that. But how about good old common sense? Common sense is worth at least $1 million. I'm not gonna lie to you. Common sense is worth at least $1 million.
Message.
Okay, because basically common sense would tell you that yeah, people are gonna be playing video games, kids, you know, teenagers, young adults, older adults, gonna be playing video games. Boom. That's all you need to know. You ain't gotta be no high level mathematical uh, engineer to figure that out. And that's what did it. It's literally what did it. A lot of people jumped onto it, and the rest is history. Okay. So I say all of that to say that I'm not telling you to panic. Don't panic. Uh, just basically look back and listen and learn what happened previously. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this and talk about this bank run of SVB, Silicon Valley Bank. Okay, so this is visual capitalist. Basically, this is a timeline of what happened with SVB. So it says basically SVB share price, and then yeah, let's also look at SVB share price before we move along. Let's look at SVB. So SVB actually, it looks like they're let me see here. Let's see here. So their shares tanked. They went from like being $283 a share to $82.90. Let's share that real quick to put things in perspective, show what that's talking about. So yeah, $82.90 is what it is now. I thought it was dissolved. I thought the bank was dissolved, but I guess not. They're trying to save it. So it went from like the last, I would say, week or no, couple 2 weeks, from $300 a share, and then just kind of going downward to $100 a share. I mean, less than $100 a share at last closing price, $82.90. So that's what it looks like with that. Okay, you know that. Would I buy anything related to that bank? No, no, no. I wouldn't. I would. Um, Definitely wouldn't. I mean, I'm not even gonna say much about that because that's going into a whole nother side of things. Um, let's go back to this timeline. So we've already saw where stocks were a couple weeks ago. According to Moody's Investor Service calls SVB and indicates that the ratings firm is prepping to downgrade the bank's credit. Share price was not 293. Moody's is amongst the world's most respected source of credit ratings. SV team reportedly discussed the matter with bankers at Goldman Sachs and fly to NYC to meet with Moody's and other ratings firms. Okay, so they do a flight. You know what I'm saying? Like, while y'all talking about everything, man, these business elites, they flying in from California to NYC to talk business. You know, they're talking about, hey, why you drop our rating? What's wrong? What did we do? You know, why you drop our credit rating? You know, when your credit rating drop, man, you just go have a beer and drink some coffee. They go fly to the actual Moody's credit rating firm and go talk to them. You know what I'm saying? That's some interesting things, man. Greg Becker, the CEO of SVB, sells. This is between February 28th and March 2nd, right? Greg Baker, CEO of SVB, sells 4 million of in shares of SVB. So when the CEO, shit, oh, this is getting kind of juicy, man. So when the CEO does an impromptu sale of stock shares, that's called insider, um, basically insider selling or whatever. That basically actual CEO selling shares. It's not. It's not. It's not like insider trading, as far as like what you think, as far as it being illegal. But I forgot what the term is called. Yeah, it's insider selling. Yeah, insider selling. Yeah, that's what it's called. See, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I ain't gotta say it no more, but I know what I'm talking about. But the thing is that when a company does insider selling, that is reported. Okay, they report that. I go on. I'm a FinViz guy. I love FinViz. I have made bank. I've actually I've actually ate off of FinViz. You know what I'm saying? I probably what I really would want to do when I'm really getting serious about this shit, I need to get back to like when I was in business school in 1999, get my Wall Street Journal certificate. I mean my subscription back, and then I'm going to probably get a subscription of a professional uh, subscription to FinViz, because FinViz is very much, they got even a lot more hidden features that you got to pay for, and I have not even unlocked. Even just with the free version, okay, the everybody has public access to, I kill. I absolutely kill, and I eat what I kill off FinViz. So when it's insider selling, it's very much something something is up with that. It could be normal, but it could be also the CEO giving himself a premature golden parachute. Okay, if you don't know what a golden parachute is, I suggest you look that up. Golden parachute. Okay, so the CEO, he sells about $4 million in shares. You know, older guy, looks like a boomer, right? He's like, man, I see what this is. I've been a CEO of other companies. I've been around the block. Obviously, that's why you hired me as a CEO, right? An older CEO, right? I know uh, how bad things go. He probably been around since '87. He probably was, doing. He been around in the '87 market crash, and of course 2008. He sees probably what's going on. He sells $4 million in shares. Okay. Now before I go down this rabbit hole, let's track back a little bit. Let's track back. It's a key player. It's a key player in this scenario that we got to talk about. It's a key player that we got to talk about. Okay. We got to talk about this because this is kind of like where it's going to be probably some lawsuits going after this. It's probably lawsuits already pending. But we got to talk about. We got to talk about basically one of these guys here that kind of some people are saying he kind of led to this a little bit. This guy would be what I would call um, a chief commander. He would be a chief commander, um, or a commander, right? Remember when I tell you all this, when I gave you that new hierarchical kind of like perspective as far as the 5 different types of people in the finance world. Like I said, commanders are the ones that drive the ship. Okay, so when it come down to it, your commanders are the ones that drive the ship. They direct the flow, right? So, okay, it all makes sense when it makes sense when you follow the money. So, this guy here, Peter Thiel, or Peter Tail, whatever. Okay, they say he had 50 million in a collapsed Silicon Valley bank. Founder of PayPal, an early bird investor in Facebook, it already says he's a billionaire, right? Today he runs Planeteer, a hard to fathom data company whose clients include major US government agencies such as the Secret Service services. So, okay, Peter Thiel gives on he goes and get his 50 million. He upset with the customer service from what I heard. Like this ain't me coming on here today and just basically giving you some stuff that I just got out the mattress. I done waited a week. Man, your bro went on. I was on Twitter. I was in spaces listening to other guys that had a little bit of inside information. I'm in the white boys Twitter circles listening to what they talking about. That's their chitter chatter as far as what they know about this. I done been researching different news stories, clipping news stories, watching different videos, heavy in the economic you know different experts such as Peter Wolf. Okay, your boy even like 2 weeks ago I start researching economics like really really heavy because see here's the thing, when it come down to learning about stocks and stuff like that, learning about business, what you need to know is economics, the different schools of economics. Thus again, Marxism, uh, classical capitalism, which goes back to like Europe, 1700s, right? Neo-capitalism, which is basically the Chicago Business School, the Austrian School of Business, okay, in what you have even now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've been definitely trying to get way beyond this and kind of learn, basically how things are as far as up above, like above all of this financial systems. Like, kind of going back to how things were when I was in school. I learned macroeconomics and I took economics and macroeconomics. So I'm trying to, just kind of stay ahead of what things are going. I already told you about the cars and how that relates to housing. That's a no-brainer. But the thing is that the reason why I was listening to economists is economists are very, very important to banks and investment firms. They all your major investment firms, banks, they have what is called a chief economist. Well, from what I've been hearing about SV Capital, SV, bank basically, is that they had some issues with basically how they were running things. They may or may not had the right, um, basically advisors or professionals on their hired on to their company. They might have not had a good economist or even listened to any consultants, because you can also hire consultants. When you have money, you can hire consultants. Basically, someone that is of knowing that can help you guide your company. Like my grandfather. My grandfather, after he closed his business in the early 90s, he was basically hired as a consultant for other people that wanted to start a business, wanted to start some type of store, liquor store, any type of retail store, whatever. My grandfather was the absolute expert at that. Um, in basically they didn't hire a lot of experts or reach out. They were, sometimes this is what goes on. Just I'm gonna go outside of economics and business and everything. I'm gonna go to basically just people and certain syndromes and just behaviors. A lot of these companies right now are being ran by Gen Xers, millennials. I've already broke down the okay boomers when I played the game of chess, when I did my chess talk. These companies are primarily ran by boomers, Gen Xers, and millennials, and some Gen Zs. So primarily these are younger people now that are running these companies. And what I'm finding out is these companies are being basically misran. Okay, they're not hiring the right people. They're not reaching out. One of the things that I find out about millennials, and also even Gen Xers, they're more or less apt to, this is a behavior, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Wherever I'm gonna keep it real with you. A lot of millennials and also even Generation Z, you have a very, very serious weakness that could be very easily exploited. Being suffering from being social or having social problems, those can be easily exploited, because if you're not socially reaching out to others and talking to people, guess what? You're suffering in silence. And when you're suffering, that results into catastrophic failure. Okay. And I absolutely see that. And that weakness is something that I definitely I know is being exploited. Okay. And the thing is that these companies are not, basically reaching out to the right people. They're not. They're kind of just having this situation where they feel as though they're on cloud nine. They cannot be told what to do. They're like Kanye West. You can't tell me nothing. And then basically you realize that it's been basically a catastrophic failure. FTX, anybody? FTX, anybody? Theranos, anybody? Theranos, right? And then you hear about it in American Greed. American Greed must be on fire right now. I haven't even been watching American Greed for a while, but I got to catch up on my American Greed. Okay, I got to figure out where it is. I think it's probably on Hulu or something. I got to get back on my American Greed. Okay, it is probably so many American Greed entries right now that they probably can't even keep up. Okay, so yeah, so back to this guy. What he did was he had his personal account. He probably had $50 million for his, like, his private fund or whatever, and he was using Silicon Valley Bank for that fund or whatever that he had. $50 million to a billionaire is like, you know, that's like the Coke fund. Okay, that's the Coke fund. Okay, I mean that's nothing, right? To a multi-billionaire, it's nothing. That's like, basically the stripper fund. So the thing is that he had this money in there, and he's also a venture capitalist. He recommended SV Bank to others. So now he's getting bad customer service, right? Going back to the communication thing, bad communication. In business, you got two things. You got your product or service, and then you have customer service. Some people think, like, we are in a world now that, and this is all new. This is all young people saying shit like this. The term pick me everyone. People are actually trying to basically manipulate people's minds, primarily young women or accomplished women, um, to believe that just because you're trying to please men, you are a pick me. When you're a woman is supposed to be picked by what? A man. And literally people are de-evolving to be in a to talk down to women that actually want to be picked by men. This is how messed up society is. So you basically you have this type of shit, right? And then you also have the communication problem. You have a lot of customer service representatives that find it's okay to be crappy over the phone. I don't care if you have a multi-billion-dollar corporation. When you have bad customer service, guess what happens when you go into a restaurant or something like that, and somebody gives you bad customer service? What you get? You know what happens? You know what happens when someone comes into your restaurant? Well, when a person is like, when a company is, basically new, and they just starting business and whatnot. The company basically they eventually just basically close up their business. They go out of business. That's what happens, right? They go out of business. But a multi-billion-dollar company, what happens is they start losing money. They start losing money. You think, okay, here's the thing that they don't tell you when it comes to Walmart. This is the things that they don't tell you. They say, okay, we're closing up this business, right? We're closing these businesses. This is what they don't tell you. You know, one of the reasons why they closing those Walmarts that they probably talk about behind closed doors is the bad customer service. The way to deal with bad customer service also is just to close the damn stores. Okay, guess what? Let me tell you something. I just went into Walmart like last weekend. I was with my daughters, right? They got to go pee, right? They go in the washroom, the sewage is backed up in the washroom. It smells horrible. I go tell one of the managers, kind of looks like look like Manny Fresh. I say, what's wrong with this? Why does it smell so bad up in here? Y'all haven't cleaned up in there? She said the sewage is messed up. And I'm like, they can't fix the sewage? You know what this chick said? She said, no, they can't. And I don't know if she was just saying that just so she can go walk back and go take another break or whatever. But it, absolutely you could fix sewage. And definitely a multi-billion, mega billion dollar company like Walmart can fix their sewers. It definitely could fit. Like raw sewage is very, very, very complex. But this is what you do to deal with sewer runoff. You know why I know? Because I went to college for a year for construction because I knew I was gonna I knew I was gonna be in the real estate and I was gonna get to a point where I'm gonna be being a real estate developer and all of that stuff. So I took a year and I went to basically construction school and took architectural classes and stuff like that. You basically just use it's sewage runoff. You deal with it by using a jet propulsion device, basically high pressure water jets. They run the sewage off to the main sewage line into the main water sewage, the city's water sewage. That's how you run the sewage off, and it's very expensive, but not really. It's not that expensive, but it basically these companies. What happens is they're being mismanaged. So when you complain to a manager can't really do much, right? But complain to corporate, tell corporate, okay, we got a sewage problem here. They have to contract. They have managers that run the actual Walmart stores facilities. Ask me how I know, because basically I worked as a contractor for Walmart. I've installed those checkout machines. Basically, they reach out to local. They got companies that source local, basically plumbers, IT guys, you know, carpenters, and they basically go to the individual stores that need services, and they work usually after the hours that Walmart close, like after 10 o'clock or whatever. They start working, right? Because Walmart actually stays open 24 hours. They just don't. They don't. They don't stay open 24 hours to the public anymore. They use that time to stock the shelves and fix the store. So what's going on is a lot of these companies, and this is opportunity for what I'm saying. Everything that I'm saying is opportunity for you to make capital, to you to come in with a better business model and actually basically take over. Okay, that's what I'm also saying. All of these are called financial weaknesses, right? And when you know in financial weakness, you take over. That's what you do with weakness. You take over. The weak gets devoured. Okay, you know what I'm saying? The weak gets devoured. Like everything I'll be telling you, I'll be like, man, hey, it's some meat over here. You gonna eat it? You not gonna eat it? Okay, all right, I'll eat it. What's going on? Yeah, so it's like that's really what I'm trying to tell you. This is opportunity, right? Damn, shit. I just kind of look good over there. Wow, you know what I'm saying?
Stop the. Can I get to the news? Sweet jams.
But yeah, the basically yeah, the Walmarts they closed. They just start closing the stores down because they like fuck it. You know, one way we can also deal with like three or four birds with one stone. We just close these bad performing stores down that we've had numerous complaints about. The management we've talked about, they can't do nothing. We fired so many people. We've had so many problem stores. Guess what? We'll just close them down. We'll just turn them back into Kmart. Where on the spot live, like where did you find like my channel? Like I'm curious, um like where like do you spring forth? uh yeah. But yeah, like basically yeah, they just closed the stores down. You know, the managers, the you know, general managers, the assistant managers, they not able to basically take heed to what corporate is saying. You know, they having problems with all of these like employees that's not showing up. You know, they don't talk about that. That's one of the reasons why they just, you know what, close them down. Just go ahead, turn them back into Kmart. You know, yeah, just you know what I'm saying. That's what they got to do because they making their stores, the other stores, look bad. And it's like, I mean, some of them stores that closed in my local area that I grew up in, I know them stores. I know those areas. We could talk about it. I got a little time tonight. I got a little time tonight. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. You know, I got a little time tonight. I got a little time. So we'll just talk about the Walmart stores that are in my area that are, you know, basically that closed recently or are set to close. I don't know when they're closing. Okay. But we could talk about it. Okay. We could definitely talk about it. Let me go to the area of um my area, which I'm in like Indiana and Illinois. You know what I'm saying? That's where our bees at. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, it's nice and warm over here. You know what I'm saying? It's nice and warm on YouTube. You know, if you wanna let me see here. If you're a content creator, you know, if you could we could talk, like you could come on my channel if you want to talk, like give me your channel link in the back chat, then I could put your channel on the regular page, and then you know basically people watch my channel and then they basically take my ideas and run off with it. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. I mean, like if you come on, I'm gonna just basically blow you up. That's basically what I'm telling you. So you gonna start, like they gonna start inboxing you if you got your Instagram on your page. I mean, basically the fact that I highlighted you on my video right now, somebody's already gonna be doing that. It's some thirsty dudes that definitely follow me. they gonna be trying to, you know, investigate you and see what's up, and then you'll be probably getting an interview in the next 48 hours or two, or asking about, you know what I'm saying, you know, you or whatever. And yeah, I blow people up. Like I have that effect. Uh, people just kind of like hate watch me. Got hate watchers. I got regular folks, and then I got people that spy on me. I even have rich people that follow me too, that spy on me. So yeah, this channel is very much it's nice and warm over here. But so here is the ones that are in Illinois. Plainfield. I used to work in Plainfield. I used to work at the liquor factory at Plainfield, and I never told you. I'm very good at keeping secrets. You had no idea that I worked for the liquor company. All y'all was talking about Casamigos. I was actually going live on my channel in the Casamigos room, in the conference room at the one of the major North American facilities that they made and produced Casamigos, and you had no fucking idea because I'm very good at keeping secrets, and not telling you until after I left the company that yeah I was working for that company. But yeah, I used to go to this Walmart during my lunch break when I got off work. Um, One thing about Plainfield in the western suburbs of Chicago, just just it's a lot of it's primarily white, and primarily those white folks are just kind of like farm. They like kind of like urban. I mean, not urban, suburban and rural type white folks. Um, they kind of give you looks. You gonna get looks and stuff like that. Um, I mean, just typical white folks that are kind of like in an area where it's like less than 10% black people. I mean, I ain't had no issues or nothing like that. Nobody, what I'm saying, called me nigger or, cuss me out or nothing like that. But it's just, you get looks, what I'm saying? But it's probably, I don't know why this one was closed. I really couldn't tell you. Like maybe because it was not performing, but I didn't have like no bad customer service or nothing like that. I mean, um, they probably also, here's another thing. Some companies, they have a problem maintaining employees. Like people are not having to work certain jobs. Like Walmart, they don't have to work at Walmart. In certain places, Plainfield is a middle class to upper middle class community. Their children, some people children, they don't let them work at Walmart. Like, no, absolutely not. You're not about to go work at Walmart. You can work in my law firm as an assistant. I'll hire you on. As far as like a admin assistant or something. You can do this or whatever. And then you got a lot of kids. These kids out here, not all of them, but some of these kids out here is kicking ass. Like you can really like because a lot of these companies are archaic in their pay scale as far as what they're paying their employees, still paying them like less than $15 an hour and stuff like that. Like, let me go back in the time machine to me being 18 years old, and I got a little vehicle, whatever. Right? I'll probably be okay with working at Walmart, but after a while, I'm gonna start to like, look at these apps and shit. I'm gonna be like, okay, I go do DoorDash and Uber Eats, or fuck it, I can just do Uber, and I can make $200 a day just doing that, driving people around, and then occasionally picking up some food and do that too. And I can make $250, $200 a day on the weekends, or even just on a slow day, just driving people back and forth to the airport. What the hell do I gotta work at Walmart for and make $120 a day? And after taxes, only making about 90 bucks. When I could just write my taxes off because all of the gas, fuel costs, fixing up the car and all that stuff. I mean, I'm better off just using apps, you being in the gig economy versus working at some of those stanky Walmart with a bunch of old failed boomers and Gen Xers or whatever. I'm just keeping it all the way 100. Like a lot of these youngsters, some people say they smart for their own good. Some of them actually they smart and they are good. You know, they probably got their credit good. They done bought like, you know, apartment somewhere and then they written it out with uh you know Airbnb arbitrage. I'll be impressed by these young kids, man. Some of them, some of these youngsters, they absolutely get it. They got it, and it's good. Like I be, you know, and then you got your olders. Let's just call them olders. They don't get it. They stuck. And then here's another thing. You got a lot of people, a lot of guys that's still talking about this pussy contest. Okay, I gotta say it. Like, oh, you man, we gotta go here and here, and we gotta get this many women and all that. And then here's another thing, like it kind of goes back to the reason of the season. You don't have no real estate. You got money, but you got no real estate. You got no properties. You know, you you got all your money, you know, in banks and all this other stuff, but you ain't making no money off of this Airbnb. You're not making any money off of like real estate. You got Section 8 housings where people can actually, you know, the state or the government can give you money every month for providing housing. You're not making money off of that. And it's like, man, I mean, you know, after a while, what do you have? When you get older, you're going to have to look at yourself in the mirror. And when you look in yourself in the mirror, you're not gonna like the reality of it. The reality is, I'm older. I'm a little more, you know, sickly. And yeah, I done had all this fun, but now I gotta start living life and start, you know, figuring out where I'm gonna settle down. And by that time, you already behind. You know, you know what I'm saying? You've already behind. You've got people that's already multimillionaires or better, and all you had was just a bunch of fun. And you know, it just, you know, that's what I see. Like I want to I really want to go in, but you know, for the sake of the dead, I'm not gonna go in on the people that died, you know, having a pussy contest because, you know, I've already talked about it, but it's very very obvious. You know, when you pass away and you die, everybody can see what you've done. They can see by the links that the family posts online now. Everything is so transparent because of the internet now, and most people use different social media apps and the internet. They can absolutely see, okay, I'll just say myself, if I died tomorrow and there's a GoFundMe next week for me, everything that I said was caca about money, about everything, because basically I'm dying broke with nothing to give to even bury myself. Then whatever I was talking about, that I was an expert in, that I said I made all this money and I was all super successful, is caca. Because basically I don't even have enough money to bury myself. And my family does not know. Not only do they not have enough money to really properly bury me, they don't have enough money to really live off of because I didn't set that up. So I mean, yeah, that's real. That's a real bad problem for us black folks. We really need to, you know, figure out if we gonna just, you know, have money and power, or we just gonna just be trying to, you know, please women and get as much pussy as we can. Like, we really need to figure that out. Last time I checked, if you get the money and the power, every kind of that stuff kind of goes with the territory. I don't know. Ask the white folks that you work for, and I work for too. Uh, Homewood, Illinois. Homewood is pretty much everything that I talked about with the Walmart plus more, as far as like, having bad customer service, having all of the problems associated with that. They just like, oh, okay, yeah, of course. Down there in Arkansas, they was like, all right, yeah, okay, I got you, Yeah, let's close this. Let's close this up. Yeah, let's turn this back to Kmart. And that actually, that site that Walmart is on in Homewood was an actual Kmart. So let's talk about sports. If it comes a situation where bad coaching is the reason why the team lost, well, bad coaching is like the equivalent of having bad management. A lot of the stores that have bad management, corporate just said, you know what, we just gonna close them down. You know, I mean, they don't really probably talk about that on the news, but that's one of the reasons why those stores get closed out. Lincolnwood, Illinois, have absolutely no idea. That's up north. That's in the northern suburbs. What I know about the northern suburbs is kind of very similar to Plainfield. Those white folks, those young white folks up there, they are not doing the status quo. It is so many ways to make money. Um, you know, it is absolutely ridiculous. I haven't even talked about crypto, not talk about options, stocks. Well, I mean a little bit, but uh, you know, these kids are selling sneakers and making more money than what somebody makes at Walmart. You know, so they're not. You got kids that maybe are, their family might not have that much. And then yeah, they're working at Walmart. But even then, they gonna get with some of their friends and take the little jokes and then get hooked up. You got kids, man, that learning how to code and learning how to do all kind of different side businesses and stuff like that. The modern system of the human resources in America is at a crossroads, because a lot of these companies are going to have to pay and realize how to pay and how to get talent and different skill sets for their company, and pay for it at the same time, and offer some type of like compensation package to maintain talent. And they trying to figure that out on the fly, because this is changing. Like, they're bringing new people in. They bring in immigrants in. Like, the immigrants are willing to take anything that they can get. But it hasn't caught up yet. It hasn't caught up yet. And after a while, everybody realizes, well, okay, if I get paid $15 over here, and then I just take a class for 3 months and I learn how to do a skill set that's needed that a lot of people don't know about, you know, I go on a Broke Genius website, and then or go on his channel. He's talking about, well, he can get you in an IT support and making at least 25 to 28 starting dollars an hour. I can stop working. I can start working cashier at Walmart and only making $15 an hour, and then I gotta go and clean toilets at the end of the shift. I mean, well, I'm gonna go try to learn what he's talking about, and then within a month or two, get into IT, which is underserved. I'm gonna tell you, a lot of these jobs that I see, because I'm working full time now. When I was like not working full time and I was just just basically self-employed, they're not even getting filled because a lot of people are just like myself and might even have two IT jobs, and they're just not even getting a lot of the service orders that I see, they're not even getting done because people are not doing them, you know. Um, so yeah, it's like it's so much out there, and you can just basically like for what I'm saying is that you can go a couple hours, do some work for like $100 versus working at just like for example Walmart to make 100 and let's say what $15 an hour. Let's do the math here. Let's say $15 an hour times 8 hours, right? That's $120. Well, what if I told you you can get $120 within 1 to 2 hours? I could teach you how to go get that. I could teach you the skill sets. I could teach you where it's at, how to do it. I could even teach you how to go into business for yourself, and you can make $120 in an hour, 2 hours tops. You got people that are actually doing that already, and they working at Walmart. But let me tell you, when I work at Walmart, this is what I make when I work at Walmart. I make $35 an hour when I work at minimum $35 an hour when I work at Walmart, doing overnights, doing installing checkout machines to eliminate employees that have bad customer service skills, that don't know how to say thank you, please and thank you, or what is it? Okay, hi, how's it going? Or hi. They don't have it don't matter if they don't say nothing because you got a lot of you know mean people that don't speak or whatever. Hi, how you doing? Hi, how you doing? Every day, every customer come up, hi, how are you? Or hi, and then once they might not say nothing to you when they go bring their groceries or whatever items they have to get checked out. You scan everything and you're like, have a good day, or thank you, have a good day. That's all you gotta say. Every single person. Hi, thank you, have a good day. Hi, thank you. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Of course the machine doesn't have to say all of that, right? But it's called it's called business. See, when you're young people that have very bad social skills, right? You learn how to communicate. Because see, here's the thing. That person that you're talking to, if you work in that Walmart, right, that's in that area, that person lives not too far from there. They're going to see you one in that area. And that person might be, a multimillionaire. That person might be somebody that can get you a better job. You having terrible social skills and uncomfortable social skills, you make it awkward for that person. And I'm one of those people that don't want to come up to your freaking cash register machine, and they just want to go talk to the robots and the kiosks and just check out their stuff and then don't be bothered by people other than the person that's monitoring the checkout machines, because they just don't want that terrible bad customer service experience. Just don't want it. So they'll rather not deal with your uncomfortable social skills and just bypass it to the checkout machine. Now, when I started this channel 7 years ago, this is what I was talking about. This is what's going to come. Now, I'm not talking about it anymore. I'm installing checkout machines for Walmart for $35 an hour overnights when I want to do it. And I don't want to do it because I don't like missing sleep and going to my real job, but that's what I'm actually doing. And actually, to be honest, I was doing it before I did that video. I've been doing this for like they've been installing checkout machines in Walmart for over 10 years now.
Message.
So let's go back to Peter Thiel and the story of Peter Thiel's $50 million private account at Silicon Valley Bank. So, he, like I said, he's a founder, he's a venture capitalist. He knows other companies. He gets on the phone. These people have bad fucking customer service skills. They're customer service agents that basically probably only make, let's say $25 an hour. I'm just being modest. They're on the phone with bad customer service skills. They're waiting to pick up the calls. Terrible call center, basically. He like, man, take your money out of this fucking account on the double. Take this shit out of this fucking account. These fuckers are terrible. I'm waiting on a fucking call. I'm a fucking multi-billionaire, and I gotta get my administrative assistant. Fucking, she's on the phone with these fuckers for an hour trying to get information about my account so I can, figure out what's going on with my transactions or something. And he's like, oh, this is not good. This is a fucking problem. Okay. And then they're giving him some, like, whatever story about why, transactions are, whatever the hell he was calling the bank for. He's seeing bad customer service. His alarm bells are raising. He has millions of dollars in this account. He knows other people that have millions of dollars in this account, if not billions. He's on the phone. He's doing a round table impromptu Zoom call. Hey, man, we're going to probably have to get our money out this bank. So they started a bank run. SV Bank, Silicon Valley Bank, is a bank primarily for Silicon Valley startups that primarily do not give any funding to black people like myself that has startups. By the way, I gotta throw that out there.
Message.
So yeah, he's on the phone with these people, man. Like, hey, we gotta get our money out this bank, man. These people are, I don't know what's going on with them, but it looks like they're having some issues. This could be alarming. Let's just stay ahead of this. So they do a bank run. So basically the bank depositors in this bank are primarily startups, venture capitalists, very, very rich people. Over 95% of the depositors are over the $250,000 FDIC insured insurance for bank account holders, way over that. So government is trying to panic and trying to scramble to figure out how we can get this resolved, how we can deal with this. They basically go into crisis mode. Okay, when you going through something, you go in what is called crisis mode. And what crisis mode is basically you're trying to figure out a way to deal with this impending crisis. So this is, I mean, basically what what's happened. You know what I'm saying? They go into crisis mode. And they're not the only banks that's collapsed or having this bank collapse, right? Okay, you got Silicon Valley Bank, you got Silvergate Bank, which wherever that is, and then Signature Bank, and then Republic Bank. Basically, they avoided a collapse because basically they called the other commanders and chief commanders like, hey man, we need some money. The government is they looking at us now. Banks have to be able to survive what is called financial stress testing. Financial stress testing is the government does certain measures, the FDIC and other governmental branches. They do what is called financial stress testing. They go in a bank and they basically look and see what this bank's balance sheet is, how much funding they actually have to cover account holders. Is there actual loans that they have out, in, as far as being paid down? Do they have any too many default loans? This is the type of things that they look towards when they are trying to stress test a bank. Does this bank actually is this bank actually solvent or pending insolvency? This is the type of thing that they do. So they, Republic Bank, they reached out to Bank of America, J.P. Morgan, all of the big wigs, right? And they got some emergency funding of $30 billion to avoid a bank collapse. Okay, I was gonna play that video. I was actually looking towards going back to this article here, and that's where I'm going to go back to this timeline here. So we've already went back to CEO selling $4 million worth of shares. Okay, the first week of March to February 28th. Two, Moody's downgrade, pending before it was preparing to downgrade. Then they ultimately downgraded SV Bank to the outlook negative. SVB announces intentions to raise $2.25 billion in fresh capital by selling new shares. Peter Thiel's Founders Fund, among others, advises companies to pull funds from SVB. Media coverage gets the wind of it. SVB plunges 60% in after hours trading. Basically a sell-off. SVB CEO holds a call with venture capitalists, investors, urging them to stay calm. SVB shares are halted. What do they mean by halted? If you know about Wall Street Bets and the AMC and the GameStop, you already know about the halts, right? Even I was even trading. I remember trading in 2020, and they did halts on the actual whole stock market. It triggered a circuit breaker. It was so many people. See, what was going on was, I told you this system is basically ran off of a lot of oligarchs and plutocrats that have a lot of money, and they're like kind of like gatekeepers, as well as they have a lot of red tape to kind of prop the system up and also keep people out. Well, what was going on in 2020 and is still going on now, you have people fighting to get some piece of this capital, and they're getting out of the market, and they're also trying to make money on this collapse. In real time, they halted the selling of shares temporarily. So this is what happened. As of late, they're trying to auction off. Well, they've already auctioned off SVB. I don't know to who, but I think Bank of America is talking about buying them up, and that's what went down. It's more things to come to this. definitely more to come. But that's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. That's what happened. It's more involved. It's going to be probably, and it's already pending lawsuits. I mean, obviously, Silicon Valley Bank is probably going to you know file a lawsuit. I would not be surprised they file a lawsuit with Peter Thiel. Okay, for obvious reasons that I've mentioned in this video. Okay, so where does that relate to you? Where does that relate to the millionaire savings plan? What does this relate to that? Okay, all of this talk about you know um, this the Silicon Valley Bank and its collapse and all of this stuff, right? What does this relate to you? Well, like I said, where there's opportunity, where there's financial weakness, is opportunities to eat. Somebody's lunch is going to get eaten. And I'm gonna be honest with you, all the people that are not going to be paying their rent, that's going to not pay their mortgage, not in buying these expensive cars and brand new cars, knowing that they're the first generation of people that had a fucking dollar to put in a bank account, they're gonna be losing their shirts. I mean, this might be 2008 again. Eat their lunch. This ain't me. This I'm not gonna keep coming over here and taking uh talking about you need to do this and you need to do that. No, this is 2023. Take that lunch. They're not listening. They don't want to listen to no advice. Eat their lunch. You need to be researching tax sales, foreclosure sales. You need to get up on assemble a team of contractors together. You need to hit up these car auctions, figure out where these car auctions are, take their lunch. This is capitalism. Take their lunch. And then after you take their lunch, yeah, you can give people GoFundMe monies. I give people GoFundMe monies and all of that. But take their lunch first, because people are gonna get humbled. People that don't listen, they respect you after they go through the trials and tribulations. But in the meantime, in between time, part of the advice I give in the millionaire savings plan, as far as what you're saving for, you saving money so you can take somebody else's lunch. I ain't even really had to get ghetto on here. I went suburban high school, you know, take their lunch. 2023, take their lunch.
of this shit. They burnt kids. They did this. We can't even breathe. We got 0% of the wealth. I want to tap into, do any of y'all want to fight? The fuck? This is the fight. All that other shit. Nah, we can get all that other shit. We get some motherfucking money and get some independence and start getting the resources so we can police our own communities. We can hire our own. Everything starts from money. We want to cure diabetes, you need money. You want to affect the wealth gap, you need money. You want to do education, you need anything. You need money. That's it. Everybody leave. If you don't have no money, you're just going to sit here and be a broke nigga with no money, talk about the same shit they was talking about 100 years ago. And I'm not doing that.
Message.